How many of you are focused on building a sales team or a sales community? Now, you might think that question is a little play on words, or, frankly, you might want to do an eye roll, because after all, doesn't community sound a little soft? It doesn't sound like a really hardcore strategy for achieving revenue. But what if I was to tell you that community, and I'm right here in my community, can actually drive revenue and retention? And here's a couple of ways. If you've got a sales team, most salespeople are focused on hitting their goal. And that's important because that's I'm hitting quota culture. However, when you have a community, you'll find that people are more concerned about everyone hitting their goal. That's called a we're hitting quota culture, because these smart sales teams realize that, one rock star cannot scale a company. That's the kind of culture you want to create. Let's take a look at another point. In this day and age, sales managers are struggling to keep up. I mean, you got AI, you got the pace of change, you got competitor activity, international, and so they really can't do all of this alone. They don't have to, and the smart sales managers don't. This is where they build communities, and these communities are built by doing a lot of what we call peer sharing. At your next sales meeting, instead of going over the pipeline again or complaining about operations, divide your group into smaller groups and have them troubleshoot common problems they're having around prospecting or, closing business or, winning against a tough competitor, because that peer sharing eliminates the wrong type of competition. I've seen a lot of companies where they've got their salespeople competing against each other. That makes no sense to me, because the competition is outside of the building. And so when you have peer sharing and collaboration, you can still have the rock stars. They don't mind sharing the information, because they know if everybody on the team isn't winning, the entire company is not going to win. So I'll ask the question again. Are you building a sales team or a sales community? I suggest you look at the second.